First of all, this is the core stuff. So when you're stepping up here to look at core stuff, you're getting uncomfortable. So I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. What's your first name again? Sorry.
David.
David. So David says he needs to be the authority. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Great. So what belief, and remember, it could be a part of you. This is where it gets confusing. Just full belief or part. What part of you, okay, or what belief are you holding that stops you from being the authority? What do you have to believe about yourself to stop you from being the authority?
Well, it's not so much...
Just start listening to what he's going to start saying. You're doing great, man. You're doing great. You're doing great.
I'm looking at it as I know my topic, and I know it better than anybody. But it's those out there that have their own beliefs.
Oh, so their problem.
Yeah.
Are you starting to see something? So when we start looking at it as their problem, my friend, it's our problem.
Right.
Because we're already changing our behavior based on what they believe. So if you need to be the authority, what belief are you holding about yourself that stops you from being the authority?
Well, I do believe I am the authority.
Okay. But you told me that's who you need to be to get to the next level.
Right. But I have to be able to convey that.
Okay, so what belief are you holding about yourself that stops you from conveying it? You're watching it happen. We play all kinds of games. You're doing great.
Okay. I don't know.
There you do. Well, you just answered. That's how you got up here. You told me your answer. Listen, I'm just. This is my purple belt. Just give me some hard work here. Come on. So what? So you said you have to be able to convey it, right?
Correct.
Okay. So what belief are you holding about yourself that tells you you can't convey it?
I guess I can.
Well, that's an easy cop-out,
Okay.
and you're going to get there, but we want to stay with what the belief is, because right now, it's what we call a bypass. He went right to the answer that he knows is the answer, but in the middle of that is the blind spot. Are you seeing that? We didn't get to what the belief is. He just gave me the answer of in which we're going to get to. But for you to convey that you're the authority, and you're not, or you're not doing this frequently, what belief would you have to hold about yourself for that to be true?
That I'm the authority.
No.
Okay.
Because if you were the authority, you wouldn't have raised your hand. You'd have been talking to all the people that you know you should be talking to. So you got to remember where we started. I asked him who he needs to be. Did you all hear that? What did he say? What did he say? Okay. You are the authority, but there's certain places where you're not stepping forward. Is that correct? It would have to be. That's how you got up here.
Okay. All right, yeah, that's correct.
Okay. So if you're not, you're doing great, by the way. You're right where you should be. Your blind spot right now is hoping that I got to go pee right now. It's like, oh, can I make it? No, I don't. It's just hoping. Just God, please. I don't know how it happened. I got on the plane. I'm here. This guy's like 6'5". He's got garlic breath. I mean, like, please get me out of here. We're not going anywhere. Okay. We're not. I mean, we got food, water. We got the keys to the place. So just stay with me. If you're operating from they're not listening to me, or they're not going to believe me, and you said it's because of their beliefs. That's what, now you're making it about them. I'm pulling it back to you. So what belief would you have to hold about yourself for you to believe you can't influence them?
That's where I'm stuck.
No, you're not. You're telling yourself you're stuck. So if you don't believe you can influence certain people in certain situations, that they're not going to believe you, you're basically saying they're not going to believe you. Did you hear him say that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're operating, they're not going to believe me. So what would you have to believe about yourself for them not to believe you? You're not going to like it when you say it. But that's what's operating. That's
I
what.
have to believe myself.
That's right. But what is it? What is it inside of you? What part of you believes that you're not able to influence? What do you have to believe about yourself not to influence?
That I'm right.
Explain that some more.
Well, I already know that I'm right. I know that. It's conveying that.
Okay, I got that. You've said that like 9 times.
Right.
And I'm just saying this so you understand. But you have to come back to you. You keep going, it's them. You got up here. I'm going to retrace the steps because this is what the blind spot. I go, hey, we're going to talk about blind spots. Who do you need to be to get to the next level? Bing, bing, bing. Authority. That says I'm not doing it or doing it enough. Right? We're here, we want to get here. Who do you have to be to go from here to here? That means you're not doing it or doing it enough. Everyone got that. So you came up here. I'm so happy you're here.
He's not.
You're doing great. And then I started asking you questions. And then you started telling us a story about how stupid people are.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
they are. Nobody in this room, by the way.
So I'm pulling it back to you. So do you need to have more conversations or you're not having the conversations that are getting the results?
I need to have more conversation.
Okay, great. He's not having conversations that he should have. Ding, 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 another indication. So what belief are you holding about yourself that's stopping you from those conversations?
I need to get in front of more people.
Okay, that's just an activity.
Okay, yeah.
That's just more bullshit. That's an activity. So what belief are you holding about yourself that stops you from getting in front of them?
That it's too labor intensive to get out there to see too many people, more people.
Awesome. Now we're starting to see it. It's too hard. You're doing great. You're right there. So what belief would you have to hold about yourself to believe it's too hard to do it? Look at me. What belief would you have to believe about yourself for you to believe it's too hard?
That it wouldn't work.
Okay, and what belief would you have to hold about yourself to believe it wouldn't work?
I'm stuck there.
No, you're not. You think you're stuck. You're not. You're right there. You're telling me it's too hard, it's too much work, and I'm asking you, what belief would you have to hold about yourself to make it too hard?
That I didn't have enough time to do it.
Oh, now it's time. Do you see now? We went from too hard to time. That blind spot knows I'm just going to choke the shit out of it in a second. I'm just telling you. It's like, oh my God. I'm going to get Gracie in a second, in 1 second. So, time. So what belief would you have to hold about yourself that tells you you don't have enough time? You're in a freaking world-class time training right now.
Right.
But what belief in the past would you have to hold that says I don't have enough time?
That the other people are going to say no.
Got it. And what would that mean to you? About you?
That I failed.
You got it. And what belief would you have to hold about yourself to believe you're a failure?
That I failed in the past.
Okay, but what about right now? That's the history. So if you're a failure, what belief would you have to hold about yourself? Remember, this is a made-up belief, but you're acting it out as it's real. You guys got that? It's a made-up belief acting out as real. So do you believe consciously you're not good enough? Just like walking around. Are you walking around going, I'm not good enough?
No, I don't.
Of course not! So is that true? That you're a failure, not good? Okay, so why are you acting that way?
Because it's a false belief.
That's right. It's not a false belief anymore. You can't unknow what I just showed you. You've been operating around, I don't have enough time, it's too hard, geez, I don't know if the phone reception works out there. Whatever bullshit you got in your head, you make it real. But what just happened for you is we just went all the way down to an old belief way back when that got wired in. And it can be a part of us. But remember, if a part of this jacket is attached to that, I'm pulling it down the hallway. So here's the question for you. You know that's not true, okay?
Right.
You know that's not true. So what conscious belief do you need to establish for yourself to start making those calls and start connecting to people? A conscious belief that you can write down.
That I'm successful in whatever I do.
Yeah, and that you are good.
Enough.
That's correct. Now here's the thing. We're just saying this now. I'm telling them what to write down. We're going to go through a process. Each one of you are going to go through it at your table. But the thing is now, you need to write that down, read my book, because we're covering it here, but I want you to go back into it. Because every time he stops dialing for dollars, his blind spot is operating. Can anyone relate to him?
Yes.
Yeah. You're them. We're them. It might be not dialing. It might be asking for that first date. It might be getting your ass to the gym. But you're operating, that's stopping you from getting to the next level of your business on a false belief of the past. You're going to hear what I'm saying. I'm talking to him about his beliefs in the past because that belief is done. Awesome job. Hey, great job.